welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and a Pro. As always, you got your same guys for 2021, Ryan, Brian, and Kenny. Man, I just want to say, guys, I missed y'all. How was you guys' New Year's? How was you guys' holiday? How's everything going?
Chilling. I'm ready to have a good 2022, man.
Yeah. Brian, what about you?
New year, new me.
New year, new me. You see, I got the lighting popping this time, right? So, new year, same me. Hey, man, we have a lot to go over, man. I know we let you guys, on a little hiatus for the last 2 weeks, but we're gonna get straight to it. So I'll touch on college basketball real quick. College basketball has just been a lot of the same, shuffling throughout. Teams trying to figure out, find their way. A lot of teams starting to get into conference play coming up, so we'll really kind of see the big dogs as we get closer to March Madness in 2 months out, right? So all the out of conference games are done, and we're starting to see a lot of flip flop, a lot of teams playing better than expected against their rival, and so on and so forth. Touching on the NBA has. I would say this. The Lakers are terrible. I'm just going to say that. The Lakers are terrible. And there's no ifs and or buts about that. We are trying to get everybody and their mom to come on our team. And it's still not making a difference, right? We went and got Isaiah Thomas. He came back and did a little bit for us. We're just trying to see anybody that can plug and play. I'm going out and say, and if I know we probably talk to AD in the future as we continue to grow, but AD as the purpose right now, you're playing terrible. You're not holding your end to the contract. That's all I'm going to say about the Lakers. LeBron is still doing this thing. LeBron kind of blown me a little bit as far as being on social media. Like, I'm 37 and I'm still doing it. Like, bro, we know. You're supposed to be the greatest of all time, right? We understand it. As far as standing goes, the Chicago Bulls have went back on a run. Right now they're 25-10. So they're in first place in the Eastern Conference. Brooklyn Nets are number 2. And then, you got Milwaukee Bucks, Miami Heat, 76ers, who are, normally in their normal spot. The Cleveland Cavaliers, surprisingly, are actually number 6 currently right now. I don't know if that will last, but they've been playing pretty well. I will say one thing to add is Kyrie Irving is supposed to be coming back either today or the next game. He's supposed to be coming back as a part-time player. So I wanted to get you guys' thought process on that.
Did he get vaccinated?
No, he's not vaccinated.
So he's only playing away games?
Only playing away games.
Okay.
You can't play home games in LA if you're unvaccinated?
No. We're talking about
he's
in Brooklyn.
New York.
He's in Brooklyn Nets.
Okay.
We're talking about Kyrie. My bad. Yeah, so he's only at home games. He's not playing. He's only playing when they play away. That's it. So.
Oh, that sucks. I was wondering because what about is it the same for New York? All the state of New York, or is it only because it's in Brooklyn? Because
I think it's the state of New York.
No, because
Indoors.
It's
because it's indoors.
Okay.
For NBA, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. That's
wild.
wild.
So a lot of people are like back and forth. I think it's good, man. I applaud, Kyrie for standing his ground, right? Because a lot of people don't. So whether you're indifferent on the vaccine stuff, he stood his ground. So he's playing a little bit in that regards. I'm really excited for, or let me touch on the Western Conference. In the Western Conference, we have the Golden State Warriors still number 1. They're 29-7 currently. Phoenix Suns number 2, 29-8, and then you got Jazz, Grizzlies, Denver Nuggets, and Mavericks. And the Clippers and the Lakers are kind of just fumbling around, but they're still in the hunt. But what I'm looking forward to is Sunday. Klay Thompson's supposed to be making his return, and that is going to be. I think that's going to be a big X factor for teams now because Steph Curry's been playing out his mind, right? And then now you got Klay Thompson. They might. It's scary that they're 29 or 28-9 right now without Klay Thompson. So when he gets there, it can get ugly. Oh yeah, that's all I have for NBA. And then I know Brian's going to touch on some college football, unless he wants me to touch on it. But he's going to touch on college football.
Listen, I'll let you recap college football because I'm not going to lie, I didn't pay attention to the bowl games a whole lot. I did watch the playoff games. Saw Michigan get destroyed, and I saw the Georgia take care of business. So
Yeah.
What do you think?
But other than that, I didn't watch any.
I would say.
Question.
Go ahead.
I just had a question. I mean, I guess it's NFL, but it's also, what do you guys think of the rumors of Jim Harbaugh and the Raiders? He's like entertaining it. Like, it's not like he didn't shut it down. He's saying there's reports saying that he would potentially go to the Raiders. Like, he's open to it. And do you guys think that's in part because, like, how long has he been doing this? 5 years in college, and he finally
7,
gets
I
it.
think.
7, and he finally gets to the playoffs, and like they get their ass kicked. So, like, is he kind of like, all right, man, I'm done with this?
Yeah. Honestly, I knew they were going to get blown out by Georgia, right? I knew they were going to lose. I thought they were going to score more points, right? I knew they were going to lose. I thought they were going to score more points. And I was a little upset because I had bet the over 45.5, and guess what? The over was 45. So I told you guys, don't take the hook, right? You got to buy the hook, and I couldn't buy it. So anyway, but no, I think if anything, that's the smartest decision he could possibly do. I don't think college is soup for him, right? I think college is turning into a young man's game, just kind of like the NFL, right? But like, he's not evolving enough. I think his ego is a little too big for him to adjust to like a younger guy coming in and having nuances in the offense. He kind of wants to have that sole, ownership of the offense. That's my only thing. So I think if anything, he should go to the Raiders. You did 7 years, and the best you got to show for it, you beat Ohio State once. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, well, what are we saying?
Go out on top. Out on top.
And you got embarrassed.
That's probably the best that he's going to do at Michigan. Not gonna lie. I mean, they just don't have the recruiting power that Ohio State does now. So.
It's crazy though, because skill wise they can compete, right? They just don't have a bona fide quarterback. And what you saw this year was that weather did play a factor in the Ohio State game because their defense wasn't as dominant as you see, right? And the SEC is a beast in its own. And Alabama, I knew they were going to do that against Cincinnati. Everybody and their mom knew they were going to do that. They thought it was going to be a little bit more. I thought it was going to be a little bit more scoring points. But I will say, going into the national championship game, even though I'm rooting for Alabama, I don't know if we come out with it this time. Just because it's hard to beat somebody. It's hard to beat somebody again, especially you played in what, a month and a half time frame. Not even a month and a half, just a month time frame. And we don't have Michi. And if you saw the game, yes, we ran the ball good, but we don't got no other receivers besides Jamison Williams. Like, we don't have anything else. And I doubt Kirby Smart's going to let him beat them over top again. So, yeah, man, the rest of college football was a whole bunch of COVID cancellations. That's truth, though. It was probably like 6-7 games that was canceled. Or said, oh, yeah, they can't play now. Or guys, the team, like the NC State UCLA game, it was the day of the game. They did breakfast, right? And then they got notification, oh, yeah, we had some guys that tested positive for COVID. The game's canceled. Like the day of, right? They were about to go to the stadium. So that's kind of like the college football season. So a lot of bowl games were canceled for that. And if I'm a parent or a fan that paid a ticket, I'm pissed. Like, you paid all that money the whole week, and then the day of the game is like, oh no, cancellation. I don't know, but yeah, that's what we have for college football, NBA, NCAA.
Some players are probably excited about it because like a lot of time, like, what's the big thing they're doing nowadays is they're saying they want to sit out bowl games,
opt out,
they don't want to opt out instead of getting injured. And this kind of saves them from they can be like, they don't have to, because some people are like, oh, you have no heart. You should have played your bowl game. Like, it's your last college game. Like, you should play. Like, they don't even have to worry about that because the decision's made for them, and they get to save themselves for the draft.
Yeah, I in that regards, I don't, like, people have their own differences about the sitting out. If I played for 4 years, I get my blood, sweat, and tears, or 3 years, blood, sweat, and tears, it's time for me to go get my money. Right? Like, that's my thought process. It's time for me to get my money. Unless you're trying to boost your draft stock, then coaches say. I saw Kurt Hershey say something like, guys don't love the game. Guys don't love the game. I'm like, really, bro? I'm just trying to provide for my family. And if I tear my ACL or do something like that and I don't have an insurance clause, are you going to give my family a check?
It's just selfishness as like a fan. Like you selfishly want to watch your favorite player or whatever playing a game, and that's fine. But then those same reporters that are saying no heart are the same ones that are going to call him an idiot if he goes out there and tears his ACL, and now his draft stock plummets down and he costs his whole family like millions of dollars because now he's a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick because he tore his ACL.
I was going to say, for prime instance, Matt Corral, he hurt his ankle in the Ole Miss game, and everybody's like, dang, how did that affect his draft stock? How did that affect... It's like, y'all just said 3 hours before applauding him for playing, and then now he's hurt, and now you're like, oh, his draft stock. But anyway, I'll let you guys get to it. I don't want to take too much time.
All right. Real quick, baseball locked out.
Nice.
Still,
We had
Bruh.
good thing that's 2 weeks of information right there because we've been out a while.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy things happening over there. But hockey, little movement in the standings. So, I touched on this a couple times already, but I told you all the standings on Thanksgiving, and there's been a movement in the Eastern Conference. Columbus has plummeted. They now are the 11th team. They were the 6th on Thanksgiving in the East. So that's let the Bruins squeak in. They are now the eighth seed if the playoffs started today. So a little bit of movement there. Like I said, it wasn't a perfect science, but it does look like Boston, if they continue to play better like they have been, they will maintain at least to get the 8th seed.
You just can't help yourself.
What?
Like bringing up Boston teams, you just cannot help
Trust
yourself.
me.
It's fine.
The Bruins suck. I don't want to talk about them, but I just go by what the standings are, bro.
All right.
It is what it is. I got, I'm not the one making this up. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
As if he doesn't want to talk about him, but I get it.
Yeah.
Hey. But in the West, not a ton of movement there. You had Calgary; they were leading the way. They've fallen down to 6th. They've been falling quite a bit. So, if they don't pick it up, they could be one of those teams that falls out of the playoffs. And that's substantial considering they were the number 1 seed at the time on Thanksgiving. Edmonton's picked it back up. They've squeaked back into the playoff hunt. So, and then right now the only hot team really is Pittsburgh. They're on an 8-game winning streak, but they're still only the 7th seed. So they've been kind of going down and up all season. So that's really all I got. I mean, not much more to talk about hockey. I mean, it is what it is. We'll see where they're at in a couple weeks or something.
Sweet. What do we got? NFL right now?
Yeah, we're on NFL.
All right. Hey, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and start jotting off the playoff picture so far. I think we got the Packers in the NFC clinched the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed, I'm just going to list what it is right now. These are not clinched positions. So the Rams are at their number 2 seed in the NFC. The Bucs are the number 3 seed, and the Cowboys are the number 4 seed. The Cowboys are sitting at 11-5. They've won the division already. The Bucs have clinched their division. The Rams have not clinched their division, so it's going to come down to this week. If Arizona wins and the Rams lose, then I think Arizona flip-flops. Or there might be some other stuff. But right now the Rams have not clinched. But they have clinched a playoff spot. So I think all the teams in the NFC are locked for playoff, right?
No,
The San Francisco's still in
and
the
New
hunt.
Orleans.
That's ridiculous.
So if San Francisco loses, New Orleans wins. New Orleans gets in on a tiebreaker.
But
How
the
many
crazy
teams get in this year? It's 7, right?
7, yeah. The
So-
crazy part about it, I told you guys that if anybody can make a comeback, it's going to be San Francisco. We talked about that.
Yeah.
What was that, like
What's-
5-6 weeks ago when we said that about the different conferences? It was your conference. I know, Brian. It was your conference, but I said 49ers, right? They have a good chance.
Yeah,
Is that how that
How was it went? Tell me how it went.
I don't know. For some reason, I'm remembering it
What
differently.
what's enlighten?
Who talked about Seattle?
I did talk about Seattle.
Because it wasn't me. It wasn't
Kenny
me.
did.
Oh man, I was knocking my computer over. Yeah, I did say Seattle. I know. I tried to slide that in there.
Yeah. So who said San Francisco again, Kenny? I just want that on
I don't
tape.
know. You tell me. Was it you?
So that last spot. So the Eagles are already clinched in. So that last spot between the 49ers and the Saints. The Saints have an easier route, right? The 49ers have to lose. And the fact that the 49ers are playing the Rams, and the fact that the Rams have to play, and I'll get into Cooper Kupp a little bit later, maybe, but he's balling out, and he needs, I think, 15 catches to get the reception record from Michael Thomas. Granted, it's an extra game, so it's not like crazy impressive, but like, and then I think 135 yards to get the yard record from Calvin Johnson. And also, did you guys know that the year Calvin Johnson broke the yards record, he did it on like 122 receptions, and he only had 5 touchdowns this year. Cooper Kupp's got 15. Like,
I'm willing to bet the under on both.
yeah, I think that the 49ers, their game plan is to double team this man. But the problem is he might get the receptions because they might just run that underneath stuff all day and just keep throwing on the ball. Matt Stafford seems like the type to he's been force feeding him. He's got like 188 targets this year throwing a Cooper Kupp. Like,
And that's why he's had so many interceptions these last games, because he's like, I'm going for the gusto every time. Which with how Cooper Kupp is playing, I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like guys are guarding him by themselves, right? But yeah.
if it's my opinion, I think the 49ers, I think they get a win this week. And then, but I mean,
You think the 49ers
and
win?
Who are the Saints playing?
The Saints are playing the Falcons. It's an easier win, but I don't know what the tiebreaker is. I don't know if the Saints also need like straight the schedule from someone else, or if the Saints and the 49ers I don't have it broken down that way.
The
But
Eagles have a chance too.
The Eagles are clinched. They're already in the playoffs.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought I saw something today said they need to win this week, somebody else to lose, and then somebody else 49ers to win, and then they're good.
No, the Eagles. That's a wasted team. Whoever plays them first round, they're getting knocked first round wild card. There's like
You think so?
yeah, 100%. Eagles are getting knocked
Why?
first round, cause like
Probably.
they're clinched in probably at the number 7, at the 7 seed right now, cause they're 9-7. But so are the 49ers. So let's say the 49ers get in. Let's say the Saints get in. If the Saints get in, then that bumps them to the 6th seed, and then the Saints would be the 7th seed. So they're either going to be the 6th or the 7th seed. That means they're either going to play Arizona or the Bucks or the Rams. One of those 3 teams, more than likely. And I think that they lose to every single one of those teams.
You think they lose to every single one?
Yeah. The Giants beat the Eagles this year, just FYI. Like,
I have no comment to that.
and we've been probably- Hey, let's go to the AFC real quick because
Okay,
I want
let's do it.
Brian to list out the scenario for the Patriots to get the number 1 seed. From the 5th seed to the number 1 seed. What games need to happen, Brian?
All right, it's no pressure. I'm even gonna have some fun with this. I think I'm gonna go throw like $10 on this at the casino. It's a 4-team parlay, so I'm giving you a little BK bets right now, and this is what has to happen. The Patriots, you gotta take the Patriots over the Dolphins. Okay, that's probably gonna be the only favorite of the day.
And that's a stretch too. With the way the Dolphins been playing.
Yeah. Just so you know, the Patriots are 4-5 in their last 9 matchups against Miami. So, but anyways, also we need the Jets. We're gonna take the Jets over the Bills. No pressure.
They looked good
Then
last week.
we need.
They did. You got a chance.
They played good game. They should just kick the field goal. Those idiots. Anyways, Denver has to go and beat Patrick Mahomes and the
Might
Kansas City
sit.
Chiefs. That's possible.
They
Their
won't-
defense
they
is
won't
pretty
sit.
good, so they could slow them down.
They won't
never
sit
know.
because the number 1 seed's still up for grabs. But go ahead.
Yeah, right. It is in play. And then we need Tennessee to lose to Houston. That's it. It's 14 parlay.
That's
strictly for
super
fun.
risky. I'm glad you putting $10 on it. You probably put it's like $10 to win
Listen.
$3,000. Like
Probably because those odds have got to be crazy.
All money
all
line.
of the
I haven't even
all
looked
of
at
those
them.
games are playoff teams having to lose to non-playoff teams. Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be great. Anyways, so right now the Titans are in the number 1 spot. Derrick Henry has come back to practice this week, and he's been designated to return. That doesn't mean he's going to play this week, but it just I think if I'm them, I sit him.
They will.
I sit him because Foreman's been playing okay, like good enough for them to like at least getting the run game going, and they won 11 games, and this is just a testament to how you can just. Not anybody. Derrick Henry's a monster, a freak athlete. And me and Brian had a conversation about this weekend. Like, the running back position, that's why you're seeing it the way it is. That's why you're seeing holdouts with, like, people like Le'Veon Bell. Because teams know that I can just get, like, another... like, Foreman was not on a roster. Like, he was on a roster, but he was, like, a backup last year. And now he's, like, the starter, and he's getting them victories. Like, how many wins does Derrick Henry add to a team?
He adds a lot. I will say that when he got out, they were fortunate to get some of those wins. Like, they were fortunate.
They were fortunate, but, like, same thing. Look at the Chiefs. Like, Darrell Williams has been playing, like they don't miss a beat with Darrell Williams.
But nobody said CEH was the guy, right? Like, it was one of those things when he got drafted, and everybody was like, the Chiefs like, hey, CEH. And we're like, CEH? You can get Jonathan Taylor, right? Let's not forget CEH was drafted before Jonathan Taylor.
You can survive without a running back for a couple, 3 to 4 weeks, better than surviving 1 week without your quarterback position. No one's going to argue. No one's going to argue the quarterback position. I get it, but like that's a big part. I don't know. That's just my philosophy. The Titans, I don't know how they're winning games. They're winning close ones, and I'm not blown away with Ryan Tannehill. Anyways, the number 2 seed right now are the Chiefs. The number 3 seed is the surprise team that clinched their division with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think Burrow the last 2 weeks has. We'll talk about this a little later. He's putting an argument in for MVP. Like, I mean, he's having a pretty good year, and he is the most valuable player on his team.
Yeah,
I don't know about in terms of the league, but he's putting them on his back. That scramble he had out to the right, and he did some like spin move and threw it down the field to like T. Higgins. Like every week I watch the Bengals play, I'm blown away by their offense, and he does some ridiculous stuff that I think that he's going to tear his ACL again, and he's just going to be out. But he ends up getting up somehow, or he limps off the field. I get a notification every week. Joe Burrow limps off field.
Like, dang.
He's 500 yards. Yeah.
I would say this, though. It's showing how good, like, these young coaches are, minus the Chargers, right? God, Lee Staley. But anyway, talking about Zach Taylor, right? Like, he's a good coach, man. Like, those young guys, different. They're no Bill Belichick, but definitely close.
Yeah. The Bills. The Bills are there, and then the Bills are there at the 4 seed, and then the Patriots are there at the 5 seed, and then the 6 and 7 seed currently right now are the Colts and the Chargers, respectively. There is a weird scenario where I think it's if the Colts lose, the Raiders, or if the Colts and the Chargers lose, then the Raiders. No. It's if the Colts lose, the Raiders and the Chargers, if they tie, they're both in. Like there's like so if the Colts lose their game against Jacksonville, the Chargers and the Raiders have no incentive to win the game. They might as well just, if they knee every play, they both get in.
They need
at the 6 and 7.
What if they did that?
They just knee.
I know.
They won't.
No way.
Only the Chargers won't do that because the Raiders aren't they in their division? Like they're you don't want a division team in the playoffs with you, a team that's played you twice that year that you could potentially play. Granted, they'd be at the 6 and 7 seed, so they wouldn't play each other until the championship. Still, you wouldn't want that. But I would love to see the Raiders somehow squeak in, just because.
So it's like whoever wins that game.
Adversity.
So it's whoever wins that game makes it, pretty much.
Basically, because they're both 9 and 7 right now, and the Chargers are in. So winner of that game gets in, and then the Colts are 9 and 7 as well. And the reason why the Steelers are out is because that tie. They're 8-7-1. So the Steelers will have to beat the Ravens and then hope that they would need the Colts to lose, because that would put them at 8 losses, and then the Steelers would be able to get in that way. And then they'd need the Chargers to win. Well, actually, they wouldn't care about that. They just need the Colts to lose. But it's going to be interesting.
Definitely.
And last thing, before I get to some news, what are your thoughts on the Ravens? This is for Kenny. What are your thoughts on the Ravens offense with Tyler Huntley? Does it look different than with Lamar Jackson? Don't get me wrong, I like Lamar, and I think he's a game player. Like he can win a game just because he's like, people want to play for him. But like when I watch the offense, it doesn't look a lot different. Thoughts?
Man, why are you doing this to me? This is probably be a little controversial. I honestly, in my opinion, this year, when he's in the game, he actually looks better than Lamar Jackson, right? And I'm not saying that he's a better player than Lamar Jackson. I just think that he is out there kind of like playing more free because he's like, what do I have to lose, right? His deep ball is thrown a lot better. They're scoring points, like, right? Nobody thinks they're going to score points in every game they happen to be in. All right. And I don't know if it's a testament to, of course, to Harbaugh, like he's a great coach, right? But the offensive coordinator, just because even when Josh Johnson was in there, they didn't look that bad either, right? Like, of course, they didn't hold like the offensive production, but like Huntley, like back there, he looks like he's back in Houston. Like after the first week, now he looks like he's back at Houston. When at Houston, I don't know if you guys got to see him at Houston, he was throwing the pill too, right? And he's more athletic because he never ran like that at Houston. He's more athletic than people give him credit for. But that might be just watching behind Lamar all the time, seeing him juke. But yeah.
All right, that's good.
So he's definitely a better passer than Lamar Jackson. However, he is not as electrifying at the run game. So
he's not
give Lamar that. I think it's about.
It's more balanced. Yeah. Like I would say he's more.
You get more.
I say he's more Jalen Hurts, right? Because like Jalen Hurts tries to throw more, but he can run. That's what I'm comparing Huntley to rather than Lamar Jackson. He runs more than he throws. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not cutting that up, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You have to watch, listen.
The passing of John Madden was a big one that hit the NFL this week.
Yeah.
So that sucks. Man, that was terrible. But I did like all the coverage that they had, like the Sunday Night Football and stuff like that. They were like, especially it being in Lambeau, and then like I think they were doing the Bills game, and they were showing John Madden talking about Bill Belichick when he was a defensive coordinator, and they were talking about him like writing upside down on like a whiteboard. But so that was pretty cool. It was nostalgia. But other than that, like I don't want to cover too. Can we talk about Antonio Brown real quick?
Oh, that's what I was waiting for. I was like, man, forget all the other news. That's cool. Let's talk about AB.
Okay, so just to recap, and then you guys can give your opinion. So I think it's like the third quarter. AB's got like 5 points in fantasy, so he's playing. There's video evidence of him and Mike Evans talking to each other, and then he's trying to calm him down, and Mike Evans just like walks away and is like, whatever, man. And Antonio Brown decides to take off his shoulder pads and jersey, put it down on the ground, and then proceed to take his shirt off and throw it into the stands and walk in the end zone, giving the peace sign to the fans, and he just leaves.
After
and
the
he's
hype
just
me
like,
up.
yeah.
Let's go. He's like, let's go. I'll let Brian go.
Yeah.
Listen. When this first happened, I'm not going to lie. I was ready to jump all over AB and be like, what is wrong with you? But there's been some things coming out recently about how he was injured. And actually, Ian Rappaport literally just tweeted a few minutes ago about his injury. And I'll just read off what it says real quick. It says, hold on, sorry, phone's... on his ankle, it shows broken bone fragments stuck in my ankle, the ligament torn from the bone, and cartilage loss, which are beyond painful. You can see the bone bulging from the outside. So that's from AB. He put out a long thing on Twitter, I think, or maybe Instagram. I'm not sure where the source is from, but it's from AB himself, and Ian Rappaport is tweeting about it now.
Can I read an accusation from Adam Schefter just tweeted?
Yeah. And it's going back and forth.
Antonio Brown is accusing the Bucs of engaging in an ongoing cover-up. He said the MRI on his ankle shows broken, and then what Brian just said about the bone stuff. So like he's going after the Bucs, and the Bucs have not released him yet, even though Bruce Arians has come out and said he's no longer a Buc. Well, guess what? He is a Buc still. They have his rights.
Look, the NFL, all the investigations they've done in the past, yes, I might be hurt as a Pats fan on some of those, but they need to investigate this because I bet this isn't like the first time this has happened. This probably goes on all the time, how these coaches are always trying to push their players to keep playing. And I bet that I bet sometimes when one of your key players gets hit hard in the head, I bet sometimes they wave that concussion guy off and be like, nah, he's going back in the game. He's fine. I bet that stuff happens all the time. And, I don't know for sure, but hey, it's just my theory. So I think that this stuff needs to be investigated because if they're all about player safety, this is a big deal. You can't have a guy out there with basically a torn ligament, especially if he says, I'm done. I can't play anymore. It hurts. Like he's done. Leave him alone.
Kenny? As the former player,
I already know.
Let's hear.
So it's funny. In a group chat, a couple of my teammates or ex-teammates, they were talking about a lot of them, kind of giving their opinions on what they think about it. First, when it came out, they were talking. People were trying to speculate the incentive pay, him getting out. They weren't throwing the ball about the incentive pay. Then it comes out, it's like, nah, he said to himself, I'm hurt and I can't play anymore. So Bruce Arians' response was, well, if you can't play, then get the hell off the sideline. He didn't say hell. He said but he said get off the sideline. And so what? Sorry, I was probably bleep it out, but I still said.
I love you. Yeah.
I said, he said, well, and I still said it right. But anyway, so what AB did, he was like, all right, cool. I'm going to act irrational and I'm going to throw my pads off, and he just did a whole. Like, he's not getting back in the league, so he's like, all right, cool, I'm going to leave with the exclamation point. I don't agree with it, right? And,
What, you don't agree with his temper tantrum?
Yeah, like, I think it's a way, but, like, you cannot go into the game. Like, yeah, whatever they want to say, get off the sideline, okay, whatever. But I do understand that Bruce Arians being a Temple guy, like, he don't play nothing. He don't play no games. So he's like, I don't care about temper. I don't care about your ego, whatever. Like, you check that at the door. That's how his thought process, right? And AB being somebody that's hot-headed, of course he's going to say, man, I'm a Hall of Famer. Like, I'm not no just regular Joe, right? I'm a Hall of Famer. You're not going to just treat me like anything. But you do sign up for it. If you say, if you're hurt like that, then don't play. Don't play. We understand that you guys are young. You got the numbers is down. Receivers is not a lot of receivers. They're probably like, hey man, try to push through. But if you're hurt, don't play. That's my thought process, because you have the option not to play, right? And if your bone is sticking out and all that, why are you playing the game anyway? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he was on injured reserve. Well, like he was on injured reserve for a long time, and then he even showed up on the injury report during that week of practice. So I mean, he had the option to be like, I can't go. There had to have been a discussion where he was like, hey, I want, and it probably stemmed from the incentive pay. He's like, no, I'm gonna try and give it a go. And then now, and Bruce Arians being the coach, he's probably pissed because instead of calling someone up from the practice squad, he decided to let Antonio Brown go, and then he only lasts 3 quarters. It's like, well, get the hell out of here if you're not gonna get in. Like, so I understand both sides.
Yeah, I would say, and then I will say though, with all that being said, that boy is still a talent, because when he was running them routes against those corners, he was putting them in the blenders. Like, I was like, he doing that off with a broken ankle or whatever, torn ligament. That's crazy, right? But still, I don't know, man. I hate to see him leave like that, just because I think he's a Hall of Fame player, and everybody knows he's going to be a Hall of Fame player. But ever since that Vontaze Burfict hit, man, he's never been the same, right? And people can say all they want, and I'm not saying that, that changed him, but it definitely has some type of effect, I think, right? Some type of effect, because he never was like sporadic as he is now. All right, but
it could be a mixture between that and the fame. Like he.
Oh no. But he was famous. He was famous before, but you never see this many issues for when he's at the Steelers, right? And maybe Mike Tomlin kept it on the wraps, right, and he protected him. But yeah, right. But I just think that it's going to hurt him when it comes to Hall of Fame time, just like kind of what they did with T.O.
Ooh, they can't. It will. You're right.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, but it will.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Damn. I think that's all I got. I mean, did Joe Burrow and isn't playing this week? I think that's like a coach's decision. And Joe Mixon tested positive for COVID, so he's also not playing. And then I talked about what's his nuts. Derrick Henry coming back to practice. And the only other big news thing is I think there's a date for where the Washington football team is going to send out their team name. They sent a list of like six names. And then there was like a leaked report where this website leaked out that the team name is going to be the Washington Admirals. But I don't know how true that is. I find it hard to believe that it wouldn't be that, only because how hard do you think it'd be to keep this under wraps? Like, they're probably creating jersey prototypes. Like, they're they're putting in like, what's that, trademark stuff? Like,
yeah.
There's probably, like, granted, they're probably putting in trademark stuff for a bunch of things to kind of check all their bases. But I mean, if it's getting leaked that like the team name is the Admirals, which I think is stupid. I don't like it.
Yeah, go Admirals. Like, cut it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see.
It's supposed to happen on February 2nd.
Yeah,
That's when they're supposed to release.
I would say, I know Ryan's fantasies is wrapped up with the fantasy football season, but can we just touch on that we were all wrong on who the person that's going to lead you to the championship was?
Well, in my defense, my player got injured.
Mine did too. Leonard Fournette was out on IR with his hamstring.
Yeah, we can't predict injuries. Yep. Give us a break, the people. Whose was Brian's though? Let's hear that one. Oh yeah, he wasn't injured and he sucked.
I mean,
yeah,
he played. Better than y'all's pick.
That's true. That's true.
At least he was on the field.
Jamar Chase went nuts. He went crazy. And I'm about to say for him to have 11 catches for 266 and 3 touchdowns, that was crazy. But I forgot to highlight in college football. What about Njobu? Right, I said it right.
Pronouncing it.
I can't say his name.
I thought it was his
name.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anyway,
he's a beast.
It might
15 catches, right? 15 catches for 3 something.
Yep. And 5 touchdowns.
And 5 touchdowns. That was crazy.
Did you see Marvin Harrison Jr. had he had 3 touchdowns as well?
He's gonna be nasty, bro.
He's
gonna be
6'3"
Yeah,
already.
he's big body.
Yeah, if he gets thicker, oof. And I'm sure his dad taught him how to run routes.
Exactly. You know, Pops taught him how to run routes. You know, he's in it from the age of 3. He's in the backyard. Plant your foot.
How many balls do you think that kid's caught from Peyton Manning himself? I bet Peyton's been over there a few times.
Omaha.
What isn't?
Yeah.
Isn't Arch Manning like is he like a junior in high school right now?
Yeah, he's a junior. He's going to his senior year coming up. He's the truth.
Is he?
He's the truth.
Wow.
No.
Right,
He is the truth. Like Brian,
he's already 6'4".
Brian, he's different. Like his release point, he could throw the ball anywhere. He got an arm. Like Cooper had got the genes. He's the one that got the genes. We didn't see his full potential, right? If
got injured.
If Peyton and Eli how they are, Cooper was the athletic one. His son, and I saw him in basketball. I wouldn't say he's good in basketball. He could shoot a little bit, but he could jump. He could dunk and stuff. I hope he could at 6'4", but yeah.
Yeah, but
You think he goes to LSU?
hey man,
No, I think he's going to Clemson.
All right.
I don't think he goes to any. I don't think he stays in the SEC. Just because if you go to the SEC, then you got to compete with your uncle at Tennessee, your uncle at Ole Miss, right? And at LSU right now, actually, I would take that back because Kelly's there, so he could.
Yeah.
He could get him. So I don't know. Yeah. So let's touch on the great debate real quick. For in you guys' opinions, we're gonna recap just who you guys' rookie of the year is as far as offensive, defensive, the MVP, and then your offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year. So we'll touch that real quick.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll just go first.
Okay.
We'll just start with offensive rookie of the year. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be Jamar Chase. I do think Mac put up a good season for a rookie quarterback, but what Jamar Chase is doing, he's in the top 10 in so many statistical categories right now, and that's for all wide receivers.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? Like, he's having like the best rookie season for a wideout. I'm sorry, but he deserves it, and so that's why.
Yeah, there's no debate. I'm not debating that.
I'm trying to look.
Yeah.
Just to be contrarian.
Come on. You can't debate Jamar Chase.
There's
The
nobody.
only thing with Jamar Chase, which he's been so good, but he did go through some dry spells.
That's rookie though.
Yeah, I know, but usually rookies, Jamar Chase was the opposite of every rookie because he was hot. Usually they're cold during the first 6-7 weeks of the season, and then they heat up towards the end. He was hot in the beginning, cooled off in the middle, and then started heating up again. So it's just. Don't get me wrong. It's Jamar Chase. I can't argue. I can't even figure one out.
But that's also the double coverage that he was getting too. They were like, no, if we leave him 1-on-1, he's cooking whoever. So we're just gonna double coverage him, so he doesn't even get the opportunity, right?
The
And then
problem
T Higgins started cooking. So then when T Higgins started cooking, they said, oh man, T Higgins is cooking. What are we gonna do, right?
Yeah.
And even Tyler Boyd got in there a couple games and had some good games.
Not
He's
at
no
all.
slouch as a number 3.
And people
option.
forget that he was the number 1 the last 3 years before T Higgins got there. So who you got for rookie of the year? Because we agree on that one. Who you got for rookie of the year? I mean for defense. Oh, okay. It's a
Michael Parsons.
no-brainer.
We
debate.
can't argue.
You can't.
Yeah.
This is the worst debate ever.
We're just gonna touch on that. The rookie's not it. So how about offensive MVP?
Ooh, offensive player of the year.
Offensive player of the year. Sorry. Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, offensive player of the year. Oh. So this one's a little bit tougher. Yeah.
Don't start.
So, man, this is always a quarterback award. Same with MVP. But I want it to be not a quarterback this year. I want it to be Cooper Kupp. I think that he's having the best year. I mean, I don't know. I just like all the stats. He's almost breaking every record that is happening. Like, he has a chance to break all the single season records.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just insane. I mean, even the touchdowns, he's got like Ryan said, 15. You know, who's to say he doesn't get 3 more this week and make it 18, which would still probably put him in definitely the top 10 of all time for a single season. So
you agree with that, Ryan?
I just think he deserves it.
Okay, so I disagree with this being a quarterback award because usually the MVP is the quarterback award, and this goes to like. Okay, so spoiler alert, the MVP is going to be a quarterback. So I'm discounting quarterback, and then this I'm going with it's going to be a running back or a wide receiver. And in my opinion, if you're picking a quarterback for the MVP, you have to pick Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is the offensive player of the year.
Preach.
Like Nick, one of our guys in our chat sent I think it was Nick. Anyways, I'll give credit one day. He said the NFL rushing leaders, the top 3. Jonathan Taylor has 1734 rushing yards. In second place is Joe Mixon with 1205. If you took away if you only counted Jonathan Taylor's yards after contact, he would still be the number 1 rusher in the league. He has 1,213 rushing yards after contact. So it's not like they're loading the box. He's getting hit and he's making a man miss and then still getting yards. So
with 18 tutties.
And we had this discussion about 18 touchdowns. Like that was ridiculous. But where are the Wentz stats? Wentz he's not really like he's taking care of the ball, but he's 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So I mean, he's efficient, but like he's not blowing you away. And when you watch him play, he's not doing anything great. He's only throwing 3,000 yards. Jonathan Taylor is putting the team on his back, and that's why they're in the playoffs right now currently.
Yeah, I definitely agree to that. I don't have nothing to add to it. I just know that Jonathan Taylor, for him to first of all, he's in an offense with. I feel like Frank Reich still doesn't want to give him the double crown. Like, hey, listen, you got the reins. I didn't think until halfway through the season when he got 20-something touches and he was running for 160, 170. He's like, oh, I guess I got a guy. I remember the last game, it was 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. They threw it 3 times. What? So?
That's because they had no timeouts.
You have a bull behind you.
That makes sense.
You have a bull behind you. They gave it to him. What he do?
I know.
They gave it to him. What he do?
Yeah, but that's on 4th down.
Did you hear what Ryan just said about his statistic?
That makes more
sense. Did you hear what he said about yards after contact? Yards after contact.
But I get it. But hey, if he gets stopped on 1st down, they don't have time to get back to the line. So it makes sense to try to throw it in 3 times before you hand it off to him. It makes perfect sense.
Yards after
contact.
contact.
That correctly.
Hey.
I don't care.
Tell that to
situational football.
So
okay.
Pete Carroll didn't have a time crunch. That's different.
So Jonathan Taylor, he's still like all season he hasn't averaged the bulk of the percentages of snap like he has towards the end of the year. He was playing 55%, 45%, 48, 51, 52, 65. It's slowly increasing as the season goes on, but he's usually hovering around 74% of snaps. So there was one week I think I saw he was at 98%. And that was week 15 where he balled out, and Nyheim Hines only played 1%. But they love Nyheim Hines. He's still gonna take snaps, and Kenny said, they're gonna do some weird things in the red zone sometimes because they just are gonna use Jonathan Taylor as a decoy and then try and throw the ball. But sometimes, you know what pisses me off about offenses nowadays is it's 4th and 1, it's 3rd and 1, it's whatever and 1, and instead of 1, teams are like, you know what? Instead of 1 yard, I'm gonna make this 5 yards. So that I'm going to get in the shotgun and put my running back next to me so that he doesn't have a head of steam. And I'm going to give him the ball. And instead of asking him to get 1 yard, I'm going to ask him to get 4 yards or 5 yards or whatever it is, to get to the line of scrimmage and then get that 1 yard. So it just drives me insane. I get the idea of keeping the defense honest. It spreads them out. They can get the receivers out there and there's a threat of them passing the ball. But Man, nothing more drives me insane. Like, just line up. If it's a short one, line up and QB sneak it. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. I would say so. Real quick, touch on defensive player of the year.
Oh shoot, Brian, you were going first.
Oh. Yeah, so
I know who he doesn't want to give it to.
So who do I not want to give it
Trayvon
to?
Diggs.
Yeah, no, he doesn't deserve it. You know that he's got over 1,000 yards receiving against him in man coverage? Yeah, he's got picks, but he also isn't doing well coverage-wise. He's just got picks. He's gotten a few good opportunities. Good for him. But anyways, the defensive player of the year has got to be Aaron Donald. Okay? That he's leading the league.
No,
I think
he's
he's leading the league in sacks.
Yeah, I'm about to say you're tripping.
TJ Watt.
No?
Yeah,
Who
TJ
is?
Watt's been balling.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been out for games for COVID.
Well, yeah, but
He's
I know,
by the
I know.
listen to me right now.
I'm picking Aaron Donald. He's
Yeah,
the best
TJ Watt
defensive
has
player of the
21
game.
and a half
That's my-
sacks.
that's my-
He's got 21 and a half. Isn't that the record? He's tied the record in the same amount of games as he should have, because it's 16 right now. He's got to play next week. He's going to get the record because there's an extra game this year. But it's TJ Watt, man.
For sure. And I'm saying the caveat is he missed games due to COVID, and he still had 21 and a half.
Yeah, that's fine. But Aaron Donald's doing
Aaron
everything
Donald,
interior of the
Aaron
line, so, I
Donald
mean,
is a great player,
little
but
bit
he
harder
hasn't
to
been as
do.
dominant this year as he has previously. He hasn't looked as dominant. That's what I would say. He's still dominant, right? I'm not taking that from him. He hasn't looked as dominant as he is previously. If you watched the last game, it's many times that runs went past him. Don't get me wrong, you can't guard him 1-on-1. I get that. Yeah. But I'm saying before the double team, it didn't even matter. You needed like a triple team kind of. Like you had to shield him to one side of the line. Yeah. You know?
I mean,
okay.
And to say that he played just because his position is defensive tackle, a lot of times he does play DT, but like they move him around all over the place. In like what's that like NASCAR package? The old Giants thing where they throw the D tackles on the end. And he only missed one. TJ Watt has only played 14 games.
I know, but TJ Watt is also playing with a baller at D tackle and Cam Hayward. Also, doesn't he have Melvin Ingram on the other side of him? So I mean, it's not like defenses can only key on him because they have to.
Are we forgetting about
take
Von
care of
Miller?
those other guys too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What Von Miller's played like 3 games for them. He hasn't played that many games.
Halfway
went
through the season.
When he got traded, he was hurt. And he was hurt.
Yeah, he did. He played the first game.
He didn't play right away.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He was hurt.
Melvin Ingram's like balling out. I'm pretty sure he's got like 1 sack.
He's shooting for the hip bar. Hey, Ryan, he's shooting for the hip.
Did you actually look that up, or are you just saying?
Oh, I was about to say, man.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah. Go ahead. I mean, Melvin Ingram is at the end of his career. He's not what he used to be, but he's still.
Am I looking at
still
the
have to
right
put a guy
Melvin
on
Ingram? Because I'm pretty sure he plays for the Chiefs right now.
Yeah, that's where I'm confused. I was sitting here. I was like, man, I'm pretty sure he's.
Oh,
yeah.
He got traded from the Pittsburgh.
I was about to say.
He got traded.
I thought he was gone, but I didn't want to put you on blast. But I leave Ryan to do it.
I'm gonna put him on blast.
He put him on blast. Guys, if you haven't noticed by now,
it's Cam Hayward.
Let's go.
Cam Hayward is who you're thinking about.
Yeah, but you said Melvin
I
Ingram as
mentioned
well.
him too.
You know, guys, as you see,
Hayward's
Brian's
balling
just
out with 9
shooting
sacks,
off the hip. All right. Yeah. Well, since we just put Brian to shame because he's talking about players that's not on the right team. He thinks he's playing Madden. He's playing Dynasty Madden right now. What about the MVP? Team. Since we talk about quarterbacks, what about the MVP? Before we wrap it up.
MVP. All right. Man, you know, I've been struggling with this one. I've been going back and forth ever since we decided this was going to be the topic. And really, you know, you could ask me in 5 minutes and I'm probably going to change my mind again. But right now, I'm going with Tom Brady. He's leading the league in passing yards. He's leading the league in touchdowns passed. I mean, yeah, he's got a few more interceptions than normal for him. He's got, I think, 12 interceptions this year. So a little bit on the high end for him. But I think that's also partly a product of Bruce Arians' system, where it's more of a downfield system. And Tom Brady's never been the great deep ball thrower. His game is surgically picking apart a defense with over routes and, picking them apart, a little bit down, a little bit at a time, moving the chains every two downs or something like that. This downfield stuff has never been his been the cream of the crop for him. So I just think that Tom Brady is having a hell of a year, and people are overlooking it only because Aaron Rodgers,
as of late,
has been looking good as of late and is playing hurt. Well, everybody wants to seem to forget that Aaron Rodgers stunk up the place against the Saints.
So what about the Saints when Tom Brady played them and it looked just as bad? Wow.
I mean, it wasn't. Tom Brady was better than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, but that's not a very high bar either.
Bro.
I'm gonna say this right now. I just want you to know that Tom Brady has attempted 169 more passes than Aaron Rodgers, and it only has 5 additional touchdowns.
I know.
So Aaron Rodgers is in an offense where they've identified that they want to run the ball with A.J. Dillon, and they're passing. Like, they still want to run the ball. They have two good running backs in Aaron Jones. So, yeah, Rodgers' numbers are down, but he's so efficient. And he's actually throwing the ball further down the field than Tom Brady is with regards to, like, yards per attempt. Brady's down there with, like, 7.3. Stafford's at 8.2. I mean, granted, Rodgers is 7.8, but, like, I mean, he's also throwing a lot less passes. And who would you say has the better wide receivers? The Packers or the Bucks?
Don't start.
Well, when healthy, the Bucks. But
Even
all year,
the Bucks actually had a healthy team this year.
Yes.
No, they haven't.
That's
Mike Evans just missed a few games. Godwin missed a few games.
Mike
Evans been out a few games.
Even with that being
Gronk
said,
hasn't played every game.
At their best, right? At that one quarterback, Mike Evans, him and Tom Brady has that chemistry, right? Devontae Adams is the only person that he's throwing to. And the fact that Devontae Adams is the only person that he's throwing to and they still can't stop it, that's something, you got to say something to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's because Devontae Adams.
Do you see how he's throwing the ball to him, though? His placement that he's throwing to ball to Devontae Adams, he's throwing it in the tightest windows I've probably ever seen. No bullshit. Like,
yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Aaron Rodgers.
he's having a better year than Tom
Having a
Brady.
great
Tom
year.
Brady looks like he's forcing it, and Aaron Rodgers looks like he's back there chilling. He looks effortless. It looks like he's chilling.
I mean, look, when Brady's got to be out there throwing to guys like Brashard Perryman, who's on like his 5th team.
Dude, you're talking about the last 2 games.
Give the guy a break.
You're talking about the last 2 games. Chris Godwin played 14 games with them. Mike Evans has played 15 games this season. It's not like you're acting like he's missing players every week. He lost he lost his 3rd string Hall of Fame wide receiver for like 7-8 weeks. Heaven forbid he didn't have him. Like, like Aaron Rodgers is throwing to Alan Lazard and freaking Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah.
And Equanimous St. Brown. Like, that's who he's throwing out to Mercedes Lewis.
Hey,
he lost his tight end, who was a baller last year, and then they got this like dude off the streets who's been actually playing pretty well for them. I don't know his name, but I think it starts with a D, and I ain't even gonna try. So you Packers fans can suck it. But I am picking Rodgers as my MVP, as much as he's such a smug guy, and I would love to put Joe Burrow in the discussion.
He's not
for MVP, but it's just not there yet. But I mean, the only reason why I could see them giving it to Tom Brady or Joe Burrow over Rodgers is because Rodgers is kind of a dick and he's unvaccinated.
I would say before we wrap it up, I would say, did you hear what he said? The announcer's like, "Man, I'm not voting for him because he's a dick or whatever the case may be." And then Rogers was like, "You know what? He doesn't know me. He hasn't went out to eat with me. He hasn't been around me. Blah blah blah. You know what? He's just a bum, an absolute bum." I was like,
He's a bum.
Rogers said that.
Who said that?
It was a reporter.
Hub Arkush.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who the hell's that?
Oh man.
Fuck that guy.
All right, man. So that was a little debate at the end, right? For the great debate, it wasn't too crazy, too spicy. We just we got to ease it in to start the year, right? We can't come off hot and ready. You know what I mean? This ain't Little Caesars, right? We gotta, it's DiGiorno, it's delivery. I know it's DiGiorno. Anyway, let's get straight into BK bets. Long story short, man, that big bowl ticket, that thing was popped the first game. That thing was popped the first game, right?
I would say the cancellations. Yeah.
Even with the cancellations, it wouldn't have got you that much money.
Yeah.
But I would say before Brian touches on his, all the college bets, if you guys are following us, shout out to Jay. I saw that he's following us on there. But all the college bets are on there, and so far we're at plus in the money for college bets. So I think we're like plus 137 in the money for college bets. So yeah, that's all we're doing right now. You see college. I'm doing a little NBA, but for the most part, we're doing a high efficiency rating with the college. Go ahead, Brian. I thought you were going to say something.
What?
Okay, cool. I know Brian. No. Sorry, my bad. I know Brian's been back and forth for football every now and then. I don't know. Do you plan on doing hockey or anything like that, or you don't touching that? No. I love the over and unders on hockey.
I don't touch hockey, bro.
2, 3,
Man.
4.
Oh no.
Okay, well, you're gonna get a lot of Kenny bets then for the college basketball NBA because I'll be spending a lot of that, and I know as we change seasons and we get into baseball and everything, I know Brian will start picking back up again.
Man, and NBA, man, I feel like it's kind of hard to bet. I mean, because a team can be good, but they can have an off night, and so it's like so challenging. I feel like it's much more challenging to bet.
Yeah, that's why for the NBA, a lot of the NBAs, I take a lot of money line bets. I don't do a lot of spreads because you'll have a team and you're like, okay, they're supposed to be good, they're healthy, and then they just flop. Right? I like college a lot more because they play a little bit harder. So that's why I choose a lot more college bet for those that's wondering. But yeah, man, that wraps up in that regards. We appreciate everything. We had a great 2021. That was our first year starting a podcast. 2022, we have a lot of things in store. Stay tuned. We got some partnerships coming up. And we're excited. We want you guys to continue to, leave likes, comments on YouTube. Follow us on all the socials. Instagram, we're going to be putting a lot more clips up on TikTok and things of the sort. And then, y'all stay tuned. We appreciate it. Have a great night.
Peace.